to Miss Denise from Hartford Public Library. Today we're going to skip our song because we have a longer book, so I hope that when we're all done, that you'll go ahead and sing your own song today. This is a special book that was given as a present to my son Desmond from his Aunt Barbara. She said that when she gave him this book, that it was his cousin Isaac's favorite book, and so that's why he got it as a present that year. Do you get books as presents sometimes? I hope so. This one's really fun, but someone drew on the inside with crayon. They weren't supposed to do that. But it's our book. It's not a library book, so it wasn't so bad. And this one's called Grover Sleeps Over, and it's by Elizabeth Winthrop, and Maggie Swanson did the pictures. So here we go. Grover was packing his overnight bag. The next day he was going to Betty Lou's house to sleep over. He'd never spent the night away from home before. Grover packed all the things he wanted to take to Betty Lou's house. His fire truck pajamas, his blue toothbrush and his striped toothpaste, his furry blue stuffed monster, his goldfish in a bowl, his begonia in a flower pot, and his cereal bowl and box of Monster Berry Crunch, and his nightlight. That's a lot of things. There were too many things to fit inside his suitcase. "Mommy," Grover called, "I think that I need a bigger suitcase." "Oh dear, Grover," said his mommy, "you cannot take all of this to Betty Lou's house." "But Mommy, who will feed my goldfish?" Grover asked. "I will," said his mommy. "Who will water my begonia?" asked Grover. "I will," said his mommy. "And you won't need your cereal bowl and Monster Berry Crunch and nightlight at Betty Lou's either." "But what if Betty Lou doesn't have any Monster Berry Crunch at her house?" asked Grover. "She will have something else good for breakfast," said Mommy. "What if Betty Lou doesn't have a nightlight?" said Grover. "I'm sure that Betty Lou has a light in her room that she will leave on for you," Mommy answered. "Sometimes Ernie tells Bert scary ghost stories at bedtime," said Grover. "Do you think Betty Lou will tell me a scary ghost story?" "Not if you do not want her to," said Grover's mommy, and she kissed him goodnight. The next day, Grover's mommy walked him to Betty Lou's house. When they got there, she kissed him goodbye. "I'll see you tomorrow morning when you come home," she said. "Hi, Grover," said Betty Lou. "I'm so excited. I've been waiting for you to come all day. Come in and I'll show you my room." "Here is your bed," said Betty Lou, "and here are a towel and a washcloth for you." "Thank you, Betty Lou," said Grover, but he did not put down his suitcase. "There's something I'd like to ask you, Grover," said Betty Lou. "Is it all right if we leave a light on? I like to sleep with a little light on at night." "Oh, that's just fine with me," said Grover. "I think that I will unpack my suitcase now." Then Grover put his pajamas under his pillow and his little furry blue monster on top of it. Betty Lou showed Grover where to put his toothbrush and toothpaste in the bathroom. After a nice dinner of spaghetti and meatballs and salad and milk, Betty Lou showed Grover how to feed her turtle. She has a pet too, and so did Grover. Betty Lou showed Grover how they built a tower with blocks. It looks like she has a cat as well. Oh my goodness. Betty Lou and Grover played until Betty Lou's mother said, "Time to get ready for bed." When Grover and Betty Lou had brushed their teeth and put on their pajamas, Betty Lou's mother tucked Betty Lou and Grover in and kissed them goodnight, just the way Grover's mommy did. Then Betty Lou's mother turned on a nightlight in the corner of the room. "Grover," Betty Lou whispered after her mother had left the room, "are you still awake?" "Yes," said Grover. "Ernie tells Bert scary ghost stories before they go to sleep," she said. "Do you know any scary ghost stories?" "Well, not exactly," said Grover. "Do you know any scary ghost stories?" "No," said Betty Lou. "Oh, that's all right then. We don't have to tell them," said Grover. "Good night, Betty Lou." "Good night, Grover." The next morning, Grover woke up because he felt something tickling his nose. When he opened his eyes, he didn't know where he was at first. Then he saw what had awakened him. It was Paws, Betty Lou's kitten. Grover looked around the room and remembered he was at Betty Lou's house. After Grover and Betty Lou ate breakfast, they played school. They took turns being the teacher. Then they painted pictures until it was time for Grover to pack his suitcase again and go home. Grover's mommy was waiting for him when he got home, and she gave him a big hug and a kiss. "Did you have a good time at Betty Lou's house?" she asked. "Oh, yes, Mommy," said Grover. "Betty Lou let me feed her turtle, and we built a whole neighborhood with her blocks, and then we played school, and guess what?" "What, Grover?" "We had blueberry chew for breakfast, and I liked it almost as much as Monster Berry Crunch." "And guess what else?" said Grover. "Betty Lou's mommy invited me to sleep over at their house again very soon, and I can't wait to go." The end. Oh my, a little more crayon. Oh goodness. Well, I hope you liked that story. I know right now you might not be able to sleep over at your friend's house, but you will again someday. So I hope you have a nice day today. Take care. Bye-bye now.